This is the annual User Care Involvement Day, and in its 8th year, the theme for this year is self-directed support and how important it is to redesign later life around that theme. We have representatives from the statutory providers and also lots of older people groups who are representative of groups across the whole of the Rochdale Metropolitan Borough. The day has been about redesigning later life. It's about older people and what is it that they need from a future care service, how they want it to be different and how they can change things to help people maintain their independence, keep healthy and keep well.
Today's annual event was about involving users and carers and receiving their comments about involvement, how they feel involved in services and the future development of services.
Good morning, my name is Steve Williams. I'm Head of Transformation and Commissioning in Rochdale Metropolitan Council. My task is over the next 2 years to introduce individualised budgets for most of the service users in Rochdale, and we intend to transform social care, and it is our expectation that we will have a much better system by the time we finish this major piece of work. We need to work with service users, we need to have them to help us to develop this system so that it can become very user friendly and meets their needs much better than the current system.
Well, I certainly think that people will think very differently around the types of support and the lives that people want to lead and have led for many, many years, and to use all that information to plan with people in a way that makes sense to them. So I think there will be some people who are really willing to have a go at doing things differently. I know the organisation in Rochdale want to do things differently, and I think people will actually be very willing to have a go and see if they can learn through this process. But certainly we're not that far away in Oldham. I've worked very closely with Rochdale and would always offer support if people needed it and want to learn from some of the mistakes that we've made.
Hello, I'm Karen Saville. I work for Oldham Council and I'm actually married to Gavin Croft, an individual budget user. Very often it can be hard to convince older people that they have a right to have the choices that other people have, and they're very often grateful for any help that they get, and they're often a little bit fearful about doing things differently.
That's a new service, as was explained in the video, and again it helps people who just need a bit of extra help when they first get home from hospital, just to make sure that they successfully get back into the swim of life and so on and so forth. So I think people were pleased and relieved to know that service is around, and the video was good evidence of people who benefited from that service. So we're very pleased with that development as well.
I got in touch with Aged Concern because I was going into hospital for an eye operation, and this is the third one I've had. The other two were quite a success, so they gave me this one. But I was very worried about the aftercare because the last time I was really distraught after it. So I asked at the doctors, and the doctor said to get in touch with Aged Concern, but they actually did it for me, and the receptionist did it, and she got in Aged Concern, and they came up and sent Julie, who was really wonderful and very, very helpful, and she did a lot of things for me, and she was very good even to talk to and made you feel really at ease and everything, and very comfortable. And she came and in the morning, and on her way in she would do me some shopping if I needed it, which I did most days, and then she did any jobs I needed doing, like bathroom or some backing and things like that, and she'd do anything for me that I asked, and she gave me that feeling of relief that I knew every morning that somebody was coming and to look after us, like, you know, if we did need any help, which makes a big difference.
I'm involved in the Older People's Champions Group, which is chaired by Mrs. Vera Hurst, and the Champions Group has taken as its main theme the issue of dignity in care. Dignity in care was the theme also picked up by the Involvement Day 2 years ago. and listening to what older people meant by dignity and what they wanted the council and health services to do, they came up with 5 main recommendations. We're raising the profile of dignity in the borough. Secondly, raising standards of care and consistency of care in all care settings. That means residential homes, nursing homes, hospital care, home care services, etc. Thirdly, they were concerned about the level of training that frontline staff have, and they were looking for staff to have all the skills that they require to deliver very high quality care. Fourthly, they talked about access to information and advice and advocacy services, and felt that information services needed to be much better available to older people and more accessible. And lastly, the 5th recommendation was about greater involvement of older people in planning and decision making. So those are the 5 recommendations that, as I say, the Champions Group has taken as its key theme. And today I've been feeding back some of the ways in which we've taken those forward.
Lovely day, very interesting. We've learned about age concern, We never knew about that because my neighbour, she could have done with that if she'd have known about it, but we didn't know.
Oh, we didn't know about that. That was very good.
That's good, that,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, because there are people that don't want a lot of care, but just a bit like that will get them on their feet. It's really good.
Yeah. But the direct payment, we have been talking about it as a group where we work. We've had a couple of presentations on it, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
So hopefully, we'll get to learn a bit more now.
Trying to improve to work and to write everything what we need, and that's it. Fine. Everybody loves doing these things. We are enjoying ourselves.
Brilliant, absolutely, yeah. Very educational. This new scheme that's gone on has been really good. Hopefully it will succeed.
The feedback we receive is really important to Age Concern Metro Rochdale and also to those statutory providers, as all this information about what older people require and what older people need help us feed into the systems that we consequently design for older people.